If life has always been unfair to you, if all your exes turn out to be narcissists or players, if you do everything for your friends but they're never there for you, I'm so sorry. It's something I'll never say. Because I'm not here to be likable. I am here to help you get your shit together, to help you get your power back. If sorry is what you want to hear, then I am really sorry, but this video is not for you. Because hear me out. What if I told you all of this could have been avoided? All the toxic people, all the backstabbing friends, all of that could have been avoided had you loved yourself a little more. If you're still here, congratulations, because you, my love, you have what it takes to own up to your own shit. Now, I'm not saying that your heartbreaks are your fault. All I'm saying is that all of that could have been avoided and you could have dealt with those heartbreaks in a much better way. In fact, you could have stopped yourself from even getting in them in the first place if you learned to love yourself. How, you ask? Well, for starters, if you love yourself, you will treat yourself as something so precious, and in turn, people will stop throwing you around. Also, you start to realize your own power and that you're way too special to be played, and you break it off before someone else can break you. You also realize entitlement is stupid, and you have to earn the respect and love that you want from others, that you want from yourself. Because if I see you talk shit about yourself every single day, what makes you think I won't do the same to you? And you can't even get mad, you do it to yourself. But also, if you say that you're the most amazing creature on this planet, but you never act like it, you never stand up for yourself, you're always trying to be someone else, you're always trying to people please, I can see right through your BS. Does that mean I shouldn't say I love myself? No. That means that you're gonna have to learn to believe yourself when you say it. You're gonna have to act like it. You're gonna have to stand up for yourself. You're gonna have to step away from toxic people as soon as you realize they are bringing you down. And doing all of that cannot be faked. You have to actually fall in love with yourself for that. And you know how I know all that? Because I used to hate myself so much. I spent the last decade hating myself so much that I hated everything about myself. I hated my face, I hated my hair, I hated my body. I tried to change everything. I dyed my hair a million colors. I shaved this part off. I tried different nose rings. You name it, I did everything. Only to realize that none of that mattered. I didn't love myself. Now that I love myself, it's the best thing that's happened to me, because now my entire reality has somehow shifted. The way people treat me, my issues, they are nowhere like the issues I used to have back then. Someone likes me, cool. Don't, cool. Because you ain't that important. It's my life. I get to decide how I see myself, not you. And because I have mastered self-love after coming from a place of self-hatred, I think I am the perfect person to teach you how to love yourself. Let's get right to it. First is the preparation stage. This is the stage where you get rid of the thinking, of the belief that self-love is overrated, because it's not. Sure, I'll allow you to say it once you've actually tried it, because I've never heard someone who's actually experienced self-love say that they hated it, that it's overrated. No. It's changed their lives and it'll change yours too once you realize what self-love actually is. No, you don't love yourself if you're A, sabotaging yourself in any way, B, wondering what's wrong with you every time something goes wrong in your life, every time someone leaves you, C, you're begging people to stay in your life, and D, you're a people pleaser. I don't care if you fooled yourself. It's time to get real and accept that you don't really like yourself as much as you think you do. Let me explain. I think the self-sabotaging is pretty self-explanatory. You can't say you love yourself and yet you continue to hurt yourself physically or emotionally right now or in the long run. If you're always wondering what's wrong with you, you're showing me that you're faulty and that there has to be something wrong with you for others to disagree with you or misbehave with you. Why don't you think that others just might be jerks? Others just might have different opinions, different values that they were raised with, and they just disagree because they have different values. That's it. Or maybe they are projecting their own insecurities onto you and it's not even about you. Blaming yourself comes from a lack of trust within your identity. Because if I know who I am, you cannot make me upset by saying that I am something that I'm not. If I have black hair, you cannot make fun of me for having blue hair, because I'm gonna feel sorry for you, not for myself. I know what I have. I know who I am. Third, if you're begging others to stay or even asking them to stay after they've decided to leave, you're showing them they're better than you. You're allowing them to take you for granted. You are agreeing with them that you're not that special. Does that sound like love to you? If you're leaving me, you must have your reasons that have nothing to do with me. And even if they do, you chose not to communicate, you chose not to solve it together. So your choice to leave shows me your values, your issues, not mine. A lot of people don't even realize it, but people pleasing also comes under not loving yourself. Because it comes from the fear of upsetting people, and the price, our happiness, our needs. Or it comes from wanting to be liked by everybody. But if I love myself, and I know my values, and I know that I have earned my love and my respect, what makes you think that other people who are like me, who are up to my standards, my values, won't like me as well? I won't have to try to make them like me. I won't have to be somebody else to have them like me. They will like me because we share the same values. And that's good enough for me. On the other hand, people pleasing is being dishonest with yourself, with others. You might think you're making them happy, but you're just making yourself unhappy. That doesn't sound like you love yourself either, does it? I just want to let you know that I'm not saying in any way that loving yourself is a substitute to relationships, to family. All I'm saying is that if you love yourself, you save yourself from unfulfilling or toxic relationships, and you can keep yourself happy and content even when life forces you to be alone. Now that we're prepared to give it a shot, let's get into the second stage. Second is the planning stage. This is the stage where you redo your entire environment to make this an easy process for you. That means getting rid of people, of things that make you feel bad about yourselves. If you have a friend that constantly makes you feel insecure about your body, your hair, whatever, confront them, and if they still fail to change, cut them off. If a certain top makes you feel bloated, makes you feel fat, and makes you hate your body, get rid of it. I don't care if your grandma knitted it for you, she does not get the free pass to make you feel bad about yourself. What? If a certain picture in your phone makes you feel nostalgic in a bad way, makes you feel hopeless, makes you feel sad, remove it, delete it, hide it. Your real memories will always be with you. In contrast, if a certain picture gives you hope for a toxic relationship that you had in the past, get rid of that too. So if you had your ex-partner and you're going through the galleries and you're seeing all these pictures, these happy pictures, of course you're only going to take pictures of the happy moments. Nobody takes pictures screaming at each other, shouting at each other. But these pictures can make you feel like the relationship was much better than it actually was, and make you forget the toxicity and the reason you broke up in the first place. So even though these pictures make you feel hopeful, you know that in the long run this is really bad for you. So you have to delete that too. A lot of people think self-love is the avoidance of every negative emotion, every negative thing, and I simply do not agree with that. Because even if you do manage to make an ultra safe space for yourself, you cannot always forever live in denial. Because life will throw hardships at you from time to time. That is life. So it's important to learn to manage that negativity instead of completely avoiding it, instead of running from it. Which is why I asked you earlier to discuss the issue and confront your friend before cutting them off, because then you are not running away from the problem, you are there and you're trying to solve it to the best of your ability. But of course, it is your responsibility. If your friend does not respect your boundary, you have to do it for yourself and cut them off. Next in the planning stage is finding a picture of yourself from your childhood, a really cute one, and paste it where you can see it every single day, on your mirror, anywhere. This is to create resistance every time you want to say something bad about yourself. Every time you want to be mean to yourself, look at this picture. Remember that your insecurities likely came from your childhood, and saying anything mean to yourself means that you're also being mean to that kid. It's you telling that kid that whoever called you ugly, called you fat, called you skinny, called you whatever was right, and that kid wasn't worthy. Do you want to do that to the kid? Looking at your younger self will help you be kinder to yourself. Next is the creative stage. It is the fake it till you make it stage, except you're not just going to fake it, you are going to be it. This is the stage where you create an alter ego and avatar for yourself. You can either think of someone you're really inspired by, like your role model, or you can just create an identity from scratch, which is what I recommend. This alter ego includes your physical appearance, your beliefs, your lifestyle, your friend circle, your habits, your hobbies, everything. So what does your highest self look like? What does her morning routine look like? What does she wear? How does she talk? What is she excited about? Does she read before going to bed? Does she paint or write when she's upset? Remember, you are creating an alter ego for yourself, and the problems around you in the world, the people around you in the world are not going to change, and that's not your problem. So don't think that my highest self lives in Paris. Instead, think that my highest self wakes up every day and practices French. We are not manifesting in this video. I have already an entire video for that if you want to watch it. But here we are simply entering into our higher selves, into a version of ourselves that we actually respect and like. This stage is about improving on things that are in control instead of being a victim to things that we cannot control. So not where you live, but how you live. Not the parties you go to, but the way you present yourself in them, the way you dress for them. This stage prepares you for the next stage, which is the implementation stage. Now you've decided to give self-love a shot. You've created a safe space for yourself where you don't doubt yourself every single day. And you have created a persona for yourself that you want to be like. All that's left is to enter in that persona and become Spider-Man. Entering the new suit means entering this new identity, becoming your alter ego. That means taking decisions every single step of the day as your new identity, which wouldn't be so hard because you've already decided what kind of person you are. So a healthy person won't be confused if she should cheat on her meal or actually eat healthy. There's no time to be confused or scared because you are not even thinking. You are just taking decision as this persona. So imagine you're in a video game and you are this character and all you're doing is taking decisions as per this character. You are not taking decisions as your current self, you are taking decisions as your persona. That's the easy part. The not so easy part, however, is that being in the persona also includes implementing the actions. You can't just say yes to going to a party if you're trying to be more social, if your persona is more social, you actually have to go to it. You can't just make the decision of buying gym clothes as your healthy persona, you have to actually wake up and go to the gym. And that's a little bit uncomfortable because making decisions will be a piece of cake when you are just taking decisions as somebody else. It's actually going through with the tasks where the discomfort lies and where the growth lies. Just remember, this discomfort is part of the process and it's nothing to be afraid of. This is actually you taking action to become somebody you like. This discomfort is the reason you will end up respecting and loving yourself. And not just you, others start respecting you as well, not that we care. Because now she doesn't just expect people to like her, she is someone that people like. She isn't just promoting body positivity and just talking about health, she is being it. She is taking care of her body. And she doesn't even have to fight her haters on the internet because she knows her words match her actions. She is talking confidence while also practicing it every single day by stepping out of her comfort zone. The opinions of others suddenly don't pinch anymore. Because she's always so focused on being her best self, she doesn't even hear the noise. She knows that only insecure people whose words do not match their actions are the ones who are loud. The next stage is the cuddle stage. So tell me, how do people in relationships feel close, feel intimate with each other? By spending quality time together. When do they feel they're in love? When they can be completely themselves around each other. When they don't even need to fill the silence. The same concept goes for your relationship to yourself. You need to start spending quality time with yourself. And I have an entire video on that. You can check it out somewhere here. So I won't go deep into that in this video. But once you do that, you will feel closer to yourself. Start choosing to do nothing and embrace the silence, embrace your own company. And no, smoking while listening to music does not count as silence. Drinking alone in your room also does not count here. All those things are actually filling up space instead of letting you be alone. Challenge yourself to just 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes with you and yourself. That's it, nothing else, just you and your thoughts. The amount of discomfort you feel doing this is directly proportional, is directly the amount of connection you need to build within yourself. By not only filling up space, but actually doing things, experiencing moments that you and your higher self values. Not just things that give you an artificial dopamine hit. That also means giving yourself the princess treatment before you expect others to. This helps you understand that you are complete already. So I already buy myself flowers, I already take myself out on expensive dates, I already buy myself gifts, I already compliment myself every time I head out of the room. My partner knows now that that's the bare minimum. And if that's all he's doing, he knows my happiness with or without him will remain the same. Because he's not adding anything to it. I'm already doing everything. You also need to start living your new beliefs. So if your alter ego believes that your work is worth a certain amount, but you never quote that price to the client because you're afraid that you're going to scare them away, that's not you living up to your belief. That's you being dishonest to yourself. And what kind of relationship do you expect to have with yourself if you're so dishonest with yourself? The fact that you're saying something but you're doing the opposite is where your lack of self-trust comes from. I keep saying I have high dating standards but also keep falling for boys that treat me poorly. Now I have a certain gap with myself too because I didn't keep my standards. I didn't keep my promise to myself. I keep saying I value my body but then I keep destroying it with alcohol and with drugs. Of course I'm not going to believe myself, would you? The more you make promises to yourself that you don't even keep, the more you'll feel distanced from yourself. And that shows up as low confidence, low self-esteem. This alter ego exists so that you don't even have a choice. Because for someone who says she has high dating standards, she won't date someone who doesn't share her values, her standards, no matter how popular, how cute he is. It's to lower your resistance when making better decisions. Decisions you know you're supposed to make. But of course, you don't turn into someone else in a day. And a great way to practice self-love is also when you're failing at something. Because when you fail at something and you still don't put yourself down, that's love. Even if you said yes to a guy and later on it turns out he's toxic and you were blind in love and you didn't see the standards, you can still leave at the first sign of toxicity. And now you know it will be uncomfortable, but you also love yourself too much to let yourself go through this. And instead of blaming yourself for your past choices, you look at your childhood picture and you show yourself some kindness and some patience. You need to understand you are a human that has spent majority of their lives, in fact all of their lives, behaving a certain way, and you cannot change that in a day. The change will take some time and the discomfort will take some getting used to. You've spent all your life chasing highs, chasing dopamine. Of course you don't know how to be uncomfortable. There's something you're learning now. Always remember, we might for once let down someone who's pushing us through punishment, but we hardly let down those who patiently believe in us. Those who calmly cheer us on even if we trip or slow down. Be your cheerleader, not the one who punishes you even though you're trying. The last stage, and my favorite stage, is the contentment stage. Self-love and improvement, it's a lifelong process. You can always become stronger, healthier, richer, prettier, and the same goes for values. You can always become a better partner, a better child, be more honest, more giving. The list goes on. So even though striving for improvement is a very fulfilling journey, it's also important to once in a while get off and enjoy the view. Notice how far you've come. Notice how this particular destination, this particular stop was a dream at one point. It seemed so far away at one point and now you're here. Contentment stage is about being grateful and content in whatever stage you are in your journey. It's being grateful for making one right decision and having the strength to acknowledge all the wrong decisions. It's about noticing and appreciating your one step forward even if you take 2 steps back right after. Therapy for me is a really high form of self-love, and I would really recommend it. If you can afford it, please take therapy because it can help with a lot of underlying beliefs that's stopping you from being your best self, from loving yourself to the fullest. But until you can do that, you need to understand that healing is not a linear journey. It's moving forward, then staying at one point for what seems like forever, and sometimes even falling a little back after that. It's spiraling back to the same point, the same problems, the same people, but having a greater understanding of yourself and a greater threshold for discomfort and for honesty. Gratitude helps you see the steps forward. It helps you see that you're getting up, and it helps you have faith in better days. That brings us to tasks for you. First task is bring that childhood picture, the cutest one you can find, and put it somewhere you can see. The second task is to remove any source of negativity from your life. The dried rose you keep forgetting to throw it. That bracelet from an ex-friend pissing you off, throw it. The popular girl posting backhanded comments on your pictures, block her, restrict her, whatever, remove her. It's your responsibility to protect your energy and only allow people in your space that make you feel confident, happy, and safe. And also remove anyone who does not come under these 3 categories. Third task is to note down in detail everything that got you down this week, everything that made you upset this week, every time you felt like life was throwing its worst lemons at you. And now, see how you're responsible for it. For example, if you're feeling down because your boss fired you, ask yourself, how could I be responsible for getting myself into this situation? Was I never punctual? Was I always procrastinating on completing my projects on time? Was I never speaking up in my meetings, which made me look like an unimportant part of the company even though my ideas were solid? This helps you get out of the victim mentality, and that's where you start to feel the power you have over your own life. You don't like something, you can fix it. Something's going wrong, you have something to learn. The point isn't to hate yourself, but to see going forward how you could have made better decisions and how you could avoid similar heartbreaks in the future. If you feel like while doing this exercise you are talking negatively about yourself, please look at that picture from the first task and remember to be kind to yourself. You're doing your best, and even on days that you failed, even on days where it was your fault completely, you did the best you could with the knowledge you had in that moment. Whatever you know now. You didn't know back then. So you cannot judge your past self for what you know now. The fourth task is to write down in detail your avatar, your Spider-Man suit, whatever, and the superpowers are your identity, your beliefs, how you dress up, your physical appearance, what you value, what you don't value, even if you wear lenses or contacts. For a lot of people, simply switching between lenses and contacts makes them feel like a new person. Do you see Hannah Montana? All she had was the wig on. Look at her confidence. What's your wig? The fifth task is to do one nice thing for yourself this week, and then to do it every single week. Buy yourself flowers, cook yourself a nice meal, or take yourself out. Whatever helps you be alone with your thoughts in a cozy space. Sixth task is to journal your progress as you go. This is so important. Trust me, this is extremely important because there will be times when you won't feel as motivated. There will be times where you'll be discouraged and you will feel like you're back to square one. At this time, when you see your progress, when you read back the journal and you see, okay, I got back up from this before, I can do it again. When you see your journal and you see, oh my god, I should think this way, I don't think that way now. You see your progress, and that always gives you encouragement to go forward. This is your reminder that you are always moving forward. Even when you take a few steps back, you're still ahead of where you started. Seventh and last task is to watch one of the videos that I will be putting down in the description. I am sure these will help you moving forward. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do like and subscribe to show your support, and comment down below what you loved best about this video, what you would like to watch next, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.